Assalamualaikum and a very good morning. Today, our group will present you a presentation titled How Far Consumer Behavior Analysis Has Helped Businessmen to Flourish Their Business under the course IMU 253 Consumer Behavior. Before we go through to the content, I will introduce you our group member. First of all is me, Muhammad Afifuddin bin Muhammad Yusof. Second, Muhammad Afifuddin bin Muhammad Rosli. Third, Muhammad Iqmal bin Muhammad Fadil. Fourth, Muhammad Haikal bin Ishaq. And last, Raja Zaim Azfar bin Raja Ahmad Najid. Okay, first of all, let me begin our presentation with the introduction. Consumer behavior. Consumer means a person who buys goods and services for their own, while behavior means the way that someone behaves. But the combination of the words consumer behavior means the study of a person or group or organization and all activities linked with the purchase and how people respond to the products and services, followed by their marketing and selling. In Islamic perspective, consumer behavior must apply to the Sharia compliance, which is according to the main sources of Islam.
Start our presentation. My name is Muhammad Iqmal bin Muhammad Fadil, and I will explain about understanding consumer needs. A businessman must understanding consumer needs to make sure they can fit the weakness of their product to make the product become better, so they can flourish their business. In this slide, there are 3 ways to understanding consumer needs that can be applied to businessmen. First of all, it's about factors that influence consumer behavior. The first factors are age factor. As we know, every age has different needs. The older one becomes, the more he needs and needs to make his life more complete. This is because as we grow older, the things that are needed are a lot more important when it comes to being a parent, because they have to think about the kids. For example, parents will prioritize the needs of their children, such as buying them a complete gadget and accessing a wealth of information to keep their children up to date, even when they are on the cheap and outdated gadget. Next factor are lifestyle and salary. As we know, when someone's salary is high, then their desire is high because they have a lot of money. For example, someone who works as an engineer is certainly a more luxurious lifestyle than someone who works as a shopkeeper because of the difference in pay between the two careers. It is because a well-paid person will of course buy good quality branded goods for the sake of having enough money. So it's important for a businessman to know the factors that influence consumer behavior. The next ways are a businessman must make a customer satisfaction survey. It is because when they create this application, they can determine the level of customer satisfaction of a product or services. A businessman can, when they know the feedback, they can fix it if they have any weakness about the product. In this way, a businessman can flourish their business by make this customer satisfaction survey. To understanding consumer needs businessmen must know the different layer of society in Malaysia. As we know, in Malaysia we have many different layer of society like children, teenagers, adults and parents. So understanding consumer needs is one thing that is not easy because every social class has different needs. Every social class has different needs because each of them has different needs according to age limit and so on. For example, the need for parents is huge because they have to think about their dependence. This is why the needs of parents are so great and so different from other layers of society.
Next, we go to the third point, which is learn consumer buying patterns. As we all know,
People has unlimited wants. What they want will increase from time to time. This is when the businessmen play a big role to satisfy of human wants by producing a product that can fulfill consumer needs. Therefore, businessmen should have a strategy or set a goal to know what they want and how much they will pay for it, so that the businessman can maximize the profit and minimize the loss. By doing so, the businessman must know what consumer needs and when they need it. There are two factors that lead to consumer buying pattern, which is internal factor. First, product. The product itself must have a big role in consumer buying pattern because it helps to fulfill consumer want. To do so, there is some important things to attract people to buy them. First, the function of the product. The product must have a good use to help to solve consumer problem. Therefore, they will buy it. Second, the shape and the design. The product must have variety of color to attract people to buy them. Third, the marketing. The product must have a great advertisement so that it will attract people to buy them from the market. The second factor is the external factor. There are also some major external factors that can influence consumer buying pattern. First, the trend. Businessmen must know what will people like in that time to know what the type of product they will buy. Second, the season. Different season leads to different needs. For example, when the weather is raining, people will need umbrella. Therefore, a businessman must prepare an umbrella. Third, country. Different countries have different needs. For example, the basic food for Malaysian is rice, while at the Arabs, the basic food for them is bread.
So before we continue our presentation, my name is Muhammad Haikal bin Ishaq. Today I will discuss about interpreting consumer behavior. Interpreting is the way that businessmen use in order to achieve success while run a business. Interpreting can come in many ways or alternatives that can be used by a businessman. So before a businessman want to interpreting consumer, they must know the factor that influence consumer. The first factor is organized marketing campaign. Marketing campaign is a medium for businessmen to promote their product. With marketing campaign, consumer will get information about the product that sold by businessmen easily. The second factor is know the purchasing power. As we know, consumer will do analysis before make a final decision about the product that they need. Sometimes the product may be good, but if it fails to meet buyer, it will have impact on its sale. That's why know purchasing power is important because businessmen can provide things that consumer need instead of will. So my next point is how interpret consumer play their role to help businessmen. Businessmen are individuals that combine factor of production for provide something that give benefits to consumer. Thus, the success of businessmen depend on how they treat their consumer. So, the way that interpret consumer can help businessmen is when it help to businessmen to get consumer trust. Trust is one the key of element for success. Trust deal with the ability of the businessman to implement their tasks and role that request from consumer. In other words, trust represents consumer confidence in a businessman reliability and integrity. So, no matter how great a businessman, they need for consumer trust first in order to achieve success.
Last but not least, consumer behavior analysis can help businessmen to flourish their business by having push towards product development. When we talk about business, we always think about the product or services that they give. By using consumer behavior analysis, it can contribute product development in many ways. One of them is it can be catalyst for developing product. This is because businessmen can produce product that can fulfill consumer wants. As we know, human wants are unlimited. Using the analysis, businessmen can upgrade their product to fulfill these wants and to get better feedback from customer or consumer. It also could help
in producing valuable and better product. By knowing the needs of the consumer, businessmen can discard the product unimportant features. Within this, it will lead to product affordable price. Furthermore, it can fix lacking product. Using the analysis, it will show the responses from customers regarding the business product. Within this, businessmen can take this opportunity to create new product that less problematic and may become a flawless product. By fixing the product's problems, businessmen can protect their reputation, which is very important in any businesses. Finally, consumer behavior analysis also can help workers to perform their works. As we know, businessmen does not work alone. They need workers to sustain the business movement. The consumer behavior analysis can be guideline for the workers. This is because the analysis will show the purpose of their product. Within this, the workers just need to produce product that can achieve the purpose. It also can help upgrading time management. By having guideline, workers will not waste their time on unnecessary things.